this day, Lord. Lord, we'd like to thank you for waking us early this morning and say, go by, Father, and Lord, we'd like to thank you for our health and strength and just the air that we breathe, Lord, that we take for granted, Lord. Lord, we'd like to thank you for our pastor and our bishop, and thank you for their teaching and their guidance, Lord, that you put in them to put in us, Lord. Thank you for every person that's up on the sound of my voice that made it to the house of the Lord tonight to hear what you have to say, Lord. Thank you for all things, Lord. Let's not take for granted that what you have done for us. Let's give you thanks. We're going to raise you up. We're going to magnify you this day, this night. We're going to say, Lord, we love you. Thank you for everything you've done. We can't do nothing. But Father God, we thank you right now in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Giving honor to God who's head of my life.
Thank you, Lord. Bless your name.
To my bishop, Pastor B, to Abundant Grace Church, thank you.
Amen.
God has given me a word. I won't be with you long. I will stay in the time frame. But I have to give a word that God gave to me while I was on the road. Amen? Amen. If you would, please, let's go to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 16. And I will be speaking on 1 Samuel 16, chapter and 17.
All right now.
1 Samuel 16, chapter. And let's start, if you would, at the 7th verse. And if you have it, stand. And let's read the Lord's word. And let's read these words. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his build, or on his height, or his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord see not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. That's enough to shout about right there. Again, Jesse made to the 10th verse. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord has not chosen these. And Samuel said unto Jesse, here are thy children. Jesse, here are thy children. Listen to that. In other words, he said, are these all your children?
That's all you got.
This all you got.
That's right.
And he said, there remaineth yet. And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest. And behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down until he cometh. Right. 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, which means dark skinned and smooth, so I looked it up, and whether or the beauty accountants of goodly to look to. In other words, he was a good looking young man. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him. Yes. For this is. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Yes. Then 13, then Samuel took the horns of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose and went to Ramah. You may have your seats in the presence of the Lord.
Amen. Amen. All right. All right now.
My topic would be, don't take for granted the little things.
Come on. Bring it. The little things. Bring it.
That turns into a big thing. I was working on my bike, and my clutch went out on me. It broke on me. I was going to ride with a group one day, and we went to the Love's truck stop up here and met with a couple guys, and we were supposed to be meeting with 20 others. And my clutch broke on me, so I had to ride home, which I was going to know about 2 or 3 miles home, in the second gear. So when I got home, I looked at it, and I said, man, this going to take a lot right here. But when I looked at it, I thought it was a big thing when it was a little thing. Come on. Right. Bear with me here, I'll make my point here. So I decided to fix it myself because dealership charged $95 an hour. So I decided to fix myself, and I hiked the bike up and started taking it apart, and it was a little L-shaped boat. The L-shaped boat that when I change gears, it hooks from the pedal of my gear changer on my foot to a long rod. It goes from the long rod to the drive shaft. It goes from the drive shaft to the motor. Somebody get that in a minute. That little boat that broke in half was $60. But that little boat that connected to the rod, connected to the drive shaft, connected to the motor.
Okay. All right.
Once I replaced it, that little drive shaft is called a shift lever. Then I put my footrest back on it, and I forgot. After putting the footrest on it, putting the steel rod back in, it's called a Carter key. It's a little bitty, thin metal that it palms open to two. You put it in the hole, you open it up, and that keeps it from coming back out. So when me and Gina went to riding, guess what? It came loose.
Lord have mercy.
Because I forgot to put that little bitty key in. But I stopped and got the footrest and went back and seen it laying on the garage.
Praise the Lord.
My thing is, when we take for granted the little things in life, when I had my surgery, my gallbladder, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. I got so sick, ain't nothing but a gallbladder, I'd be okay. But when I went to the hospital and they looked at me and said, well, one thing, we got to rush you into emergency surgery. Because your gallbladder, 1, is infected, 2, you have gallstones, 3, if it reach your heart, it'll kill you. The little things we take for granted. Now, if I go back and talk with David about what's going on, he would tell me when he was a youth how they treated him. How many people know they would treat you less than because they don't see the big thing inside of you?
Come on now.
When I look at this, I see David at the time of Goliath, Philistine. David was only around about 15 years old when I do the study on that, because the Israel army required you to be at least 20 years old to join the army. David had 3 older brothers that was in the army following Saul. Come on now. David was a shepherd boy looking after his father's sheep. And God told Samuel to go to Jesse's house.
Right.
Now, in all of that, when he went to Jesse's house and he told him, he said, now, God has sent me here to anoint one of your sons going to be king. In Jesse's mind, he got some big stature boys, 6 feet plus. He knows good well it's going to be one of them. But when he called them to come, they lined it up. I can imagine they tall, big, handsome men, and he looked at him like, no, something is missing here. And he said, what you talking about? I mean, these are my sons right here. He said, no, something is missing. Something is missing. God had told him, don't look at the statue up there. Don't look at their height. The problem we have, we go by what we see. On the outer appearance, not on the inner appearance. So he said, wait a minute, go back. It's somebody else. I know it's somebody else. How many sons you got? He said, where's one more? And he's the youngest. He out there with the sheep.
Go get him.
He said, bring him here, because I'm not sitting down till you bring him here.
Amen.
So he went and got him and brought him there, and God immediately told him, that's the one. Anoint him. That's the one. They look at each other like, what?
Right. That's the one.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right.
It's not what you see, but what you don't see.
Right.
God gave me this because we take for granted the air we breathe.
Yes.
We take for granted our health.
Yes.
The little things.
That's yes.
That turn into a big thing.
Right.
One day, David, father told him, come here. Go down to the Israelite army where your 3 brothers at and go take some food down there. They're having a hard time, so report back to me or what you see. Not expecting what David's going to turn into be.
Right. Come on.
Here he is, a little boy, 15 years old or so, going down to give his older brothers some food.
Right.
But when he got down there, to make a long story short, he realized of all these Israelites, and Saul was the tallest of them all. But all of a sudden, Bishop, he heard a voice.
Right. Yes, he did.
And when he heard a voice, he looked, and here comes this big Philistine that's taunting them. Right. The Bible said he taunted him for 40 days and 40 nights. He came day and night. He said, if you would just bring me somebody to fight me, of all your men, bring me just one man to fight me. Now, if he killed me, then we will serve y'all. But if I kill him, y'all will serve us. Come on now. They're looking at the statue of Goliath. They're looking at how big he is. Right. Of all the Israelite army, but for some reason, Bishop, where were they faith? Where were they courage? Where were they bravery? Right. Do they not know they had God on their side? Right. They forgot. How many of us forget that we have God on our side when we look at what's going on and we see that the problems are bigger than us? All we have to do is magnify the Lord. Peter got out the boat and looking at Jesus, and long as he was looking at the problem solver, he was all right. Right. But the problem Peter had, he looked down at the problem. Right.
Yes, Lord.
Now, in all of that, David got angry when he heard about Goliath talking to them the way they was talking. And they got scared. The Bible said they got afraid. And on the 11th verse here, 17th chapter says, when Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistines, they was dismayed and greatly afraid. But here comes little David. When he heard him, he said, wait a minute, hold up. Y'all mean y'all scared of this big old Philistine? Uncircumcised Philistine? Where's your God at? Right. This big old Philistine, uncircumcised, where's your God at? Right. In so many words, he would let him know, who are you? Right. Who are you, Bishop? Right. Who are you, Pastor V? Right. Do you know who you are? Right. Do you know who got your back? Right. It don't end there. It don't end there. Now, Saul had talked to him and said, wait a minute, hold up. He said, you're nothing but a youth. You're not ready for battle. You're not old enough for battle. This man's been fighting since he was young. He said he would destroy you, in other words. He said, wait a minute, hold up. Let's back up. Now, here where David finna let him know who his God is. Right. You know, you have a magnifying glass. Come on. Yes, sir. Showed up. Yes. Amen. Everything look a little to the eyes, but when you put that magnifying glass, it becomes bigger. Yes, it does. Now, David's finna let him know what's really going on. See, we don't stand for God. That's right. We look at our problems like they're bigger than us. Right. But ain't nothing bigger for God. That's right. Amen. So David said, wait a minute, did I not take care of my father's sheep? Yeah. And when the lion came up against him, did I not go and get the sheep out of the lion's mouth? Right. Yes, he did. Amen. A 15-year-old boy going against a lion, which may weigh, 400 or 500 pounds. Right. Now here comes a bear. He went against the bear and smite the bear. Right. Now, did I do all of that? Right. So who he supposed to be? Right. So in other words, what I'm saying to you, when the problems of life come, you look them dead in the eye and say, I know who I am. I know who got my back. I know who I stand for. Without Christ, we can't do nothing. But with Christ, we can do all things. While we running and hiding, Bishop, when society get hard on us. While we running and hiding instead of standing for Jesus when Satan come up against us.
Yes, Lord. Lord.
So David told him, said, look here. Just as well I took them down, I'm going to take him down. Right. But now if we look at the 17th chapter and 45th verse, he magnified him right here. He said, then David said unto him, the Philistine, thou canst unto me with the sword. But this is what I like about it right here. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Yeah, read it out.
Let me read it to you because I'm going to make it plain to you. Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Almighty Lord of hosts, the God of the army of the Israelites, who has defiled this day will the Lord deliver thee unto the hands, and I will smite thee, and I will take thee head from thee, and I will give the carcass and the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild the beasts of the air, that all the earth may know that this is the God of Israel. Yes. The God of Israel. Now, in all of that, Saul tried to give David all the armor.
Right.
Put all the heavy equipment on him. He said, wait a minute, I'm too small for this. I can't do all of this. See, the problem we have, Bishop, we try to be like somebody else. Right. We try to wear somebody else's shoes when we can't.
Come on.
Just be yourself. Amen. And God will provide the right tools to go against the enemy.
That's right.
Stop looking on what society say you're supposed to do. So when David told him, no, I can't do this. I can't preach like you preach. I can't preach like you preach, Pastor B, but let me do what God gave me. Let me use the tools God gave me. So once he took his slingshot and 5 stones. Now here come the little thing again. Here come the little thing again. Y'all not getting this. Small as David is, he took his slingshot and 5 stones, smooth stones at that.
All right.
Not only that, he took 1 stone, Bishop. One.
Just one.
One.
Just one.
Can I stop right there?
Come on.
On back of the dollar bill, you see 2 sides on back of the dollar bill.
Right.
You see an eagle on one side, holding 13 arrows, meaning 13 colonies. And on top of them, you see the 13 stars, 7 and 6. But on the other side, you see a pyramid, the all seen now. Sign of hearts, Egyptian goddess watching you. And outside, if you notice outside, you see a dragon tail and a rattlesnake tail. You see evil on both sides, right? But look in the middle of that dollar bill, what do you see?
In the middle.
1.
In the middle. Right.
In God we trust.
Right. Yeah.
Can I say it again, Bishop? In God we trust.
Yeah.
We don't trust in our finances.
Right.
We don't trust in our jobs, because the job will they will let you down at any day. You go to work tomorrow, you won't have a job.
Right. That's right. Right. Amen.
We trust in God,
Yes.
not man.
Right.
So here come David telling them, look here, I can't wear all of that, but guess what? I know who I serve. I know who got my back.
Right.
He let Goliath know, you may have all the armor, you may have the sword, you may have a spear, but I got God.
Amen.
As long as we got God,
Yes.
that's the biggest thing you see. He magnified God right then and there. He magnified God. He let them know, I got God.
Amen.
And when God is for you, he's more than the world against you.
Yes, Lord.
But what I love about it, that as the big Philistine came down to meet him, and he was taunting him, telling him what he was going to do, he just wretched his days, got 1 stone.
Just one.
Just 1 stone.
Yes.
And he started twirling it.
Yes.
Started twirling it. But see, behind that twirl was power, Bishop.
That's right.
That's power.
Amen.
It wasn't just David. No. David knew that God had his back, and he gave God the glory. That's what we need to do. We need to give God the glory on everything we do.
Amen.
It ain't about us. But when you give God the glory, you will be amazed what come out at the end. Just because it look bad, because it looks small, but you give God glory and see what's going to come out of it. Amen? Let me put it this way. Y'all not listening. They're not listening, Bishop. Well, my job just laid off 500 people. My job just cut 5 terminals across the United States. My job just cut over 1,000 people when you start counting each terminal. But I got a phone call and said, your job is safe. What I'm saying, when you magnify God and give him the glory and live right and do by his word, he will protect you. No matter what come up. No matter what come up, the devil in hell can't touch you as long as you got God on your side. But when he started telling that slingshot, come on now, he was telling it. But see, while he was telling, he said, Lord, I give you the glory. And power came behind it. I said, power came behind it. You just keep telling him, power come behind it. And keep telling him, when he let it go, power was like a bullet. It hit Goliath in the head. Now, what y'all understand is Goliath had a shield on his head. He had a helmet. But it didn't cover his forehead. It didn't cover his forehead. And after that, that's when they started making shields to cover down to their nose. But see, that stone lodged into his brain. And he fell down. But not only that, David stood above him, took his own sword, Goliath's sword, and cut his head off. See, we have to cut that snake head off, Bishop. We have to cut the head off. Y'all don't hear me. We have to cut the head off. Did Jesus step on that snake? Did Jesus say, get behind me, Satan? So what is our problem? See, all the problems you have may seem bigger than you, and you may seem small. But when you stop and magnify the Lord, and stand up and say, and be bold like David. Don't be scary. God ain't got no scary people in his army. You got to be bold. You got to be brave. Because you know who got your back. You know that the God you serve, no matter how they talk about you, no matter what they try to put you, the fact is that when God tell you to do something, you do it. I ain't say go ask your neighbor. I ain't say go ask Congress. A lot of times we talk too much, Bishop. And we go tell what God told us. He didn't tell you to tell all that. But when God tell you, keep it to yourself and just go do it. When God send you, well, go. Just like he did Moses. Moses went. See, we were, well, you know, God told me, but I don't know what destination I'm going to be in. And when I get there, I don't know what's going to happen. God ain't told me that. He ain't got to tell you all that. The fact is, when God said go, you go. And move. The fact is, we take the little things for granted.
Yes, Lord. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
One time I was driving in, coming out of Colorado. And my first time driving, my trainer took some pills, and a little bit of me, I think I weighed about $150 at the time. And I was scared to death, Pastor D. Going up a big mountain. Vail Mountain in Denver, Colorado. And I was climbing the mountain, but all of a sudden my truck balled down, and I shift gears and I started climbing. All of a sudden going through Eisenhower Tower and the lights blinking. And I heard a voice come on CB, driver, you ever been up this mountain before? I said, no, I haven't. He said, you need to slow down. He said, you know where you at? I said, Vail Mountain. He said, you 10,000 feet up in the air. When I started coming down the mountain, it was a grade 8. Which means you coming down like this, and I had 44,000 pounds in the truck. And I started burning my brakes up. Then I started praying. Then I started crying out to God while my trainer was asleep with sleeping pills. And I said, Lord, if whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Because I knew I was going to die that day. God knows how to get your attention. And as I was coming down, I looked through my mirror, my brakes was on fire. I didn't have no brakes. And I seen in a mile a curve, 15 miles an hour, him doing 55 and 60 miles an hour, couldn't stop. And all I heard was, preach my word. Because I've been running and running and running, and I didn't want to do it. Little bitty me. But here's a big old God got my attention. And before I knew it, 2 trucks came out of nowhere.
That's how you do.
And I heard them on the CB say, driver, you ain't going to make it. But we tell you what we do. We used to this lane. We're going to one get in front of you, one going to get beside you, and we're going to slow you down. And as they slowed me down, they tore the front hood off my truck, and I pulled over and got the fire extinguisher, put it out, got back in the truck. Now I'm going westbound. Here's a man going eastbound. He got on the CB's driver. Are you okay? I said, yeah, I am now. He said, what did you hit? I said, well, them 2 containers went around the bend. They helped stop me. He got quiet.
Wow.
You cannot tell me there's no angels.
Okay. Amen.
Lord have mercy.
He said, I'm asking you one more time. Where did you hit? I said, I just told you the 2 containers went around the bend going down, it has stopped me. He said, driver, there's nobody for 25 miles. The little things turn into a big thing. When you listen to the power of God, He's the big thing in our life. We the little things. Can I say it again? We're the little things. He's the big thing. As long as we have Him on the inside of us. And when God tell you to do something, do it. Can I say it one more time? When God tell you to do something, do it. Stop hesitating. Stop questioning God like Moses did. Stop making excuses. You want the blessing, but you don't want to do the work.
Do it.
All I have to say is, do it.
Do it.
Stop taking for granted. Every day you wake up, give God the praise. Every day you wake up, say, Lord, I thank you for another day. And when you come home, I'm old school. My mother taught me to pray before I go to bed. Lord, I thank you that I made it through this day. Watch me as I sleep and slumber.
Yes.
Even when I'm in the rig out there on the road, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. You gave me one more day.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Let me thank you for this one day.
Yes.
You was the driver of this 18-wheeler, not me. I was the co-driver. Thank you for protecting me from unseen danger. Just because you leave home, that don't mean you're going to go back home. Just because you leave home, that don't mean you're going to return to home. And pray for your kids. Pray for your spouses. That when y'all go your separate ways to work, to school, that the little bitty thing turned into a big thing because God is God. And another thing, stop getting in God's way. When you turn something over to God, leave it there. And stop trying to take it back, because God don't need your help. I'm getting ready to turn it over to Bishop. But before I turn it over, there's someone here that needs prayer, that's going through a hard time. And you've been trying to do it yourself. I don't know who it is, but you've been trying to work it out yourself. And God is waiting for you to turn it over to Him. Those that need prayer, come on up to the altar.